He is the notorious tobacco industry official who embezzled a staggering 1 billion yuan during his tenure, averaging 100,000 yuan per day. Describing him as a wealth harvester is no exaggeration. Astonishingly, he was not brought to justice until 10 years after his retirement. But what is even more incomprehensible is his arrogant remark upon being arrested: "How dare you arrest me? Do you know who I am?" So, who exactly is he? What kind of extraordinary influence does he wield to make such brazen statements? For ordinary people, 1 billion yuan is an astronomical figure, but for him, it was as simple as drinking water. He is He Zihua, the former deputy director of the State Tobacco Monopoly Administration. During his 25-year career, he embezzled a total of 9.44 billion yuan. Even after retirement, he continued to use his former influence to benefit his relatives. In China's tobacco industry, He Zihua exploited his position for personal gain, engaging in extensive bribery in employee recruitment and promotion. Early in his career, he served as the director of the Huayin District cigarette factory in Jiangsu Province, later being transferred to the Jiangsu Provincial Tobacco Monopoly Administration as deputy director. In the year 2000, at just 46 years old, He Zihua moved to Anhui Province to become the director of the Anhui Provincial Tobacco Monopoly Administration. In 2003, he joined the State Tobacco Monopoly Administration as deputy director. In 2013, at the age of 60, he retired from his position as deputy director. What he never expected was that, 10 years into his retirement in 2023, he would find himself at the center of a scandal. It is well known that the tobacco industry has always been synonymous with huge profits. He Zihua not only provided paid assistance for others' job promotions but also accepted bribes in private business operations. He used his power to sell employee positions and facilitate companies in securing contracts. The saying, "It is hard for the children of poor families to become successful," is not without reason, as many crucial positions are guarded by people like He Zihua. For instance, the former head of the Discipline Inspection Group of the State Tobacco Monopoly Administration, Pan Jihua. During his tenure, Pan Jihua amassed 10 million yuan through his position. He not only accepted lavish banquets from companies but also accepted overseas trips arranged by private enterprises. Furthermore, he allowed his relatives to monopolize sales in the tobacco sector. Eventually, Pan Jihua, at 71 years old, was sentenced to 11 years in prison. In March 2024, He Zihua was brought to trial. Due to the significant amount involved, no verdict was announced in court. It wasn't until today that the Dalian Intermediate People's Court of Liaoning Province publicly announced the first instance verdict for the case of He Zihua, the former member of the party leadership group and deputy director of the State Tobacco Monopoly Administration, for bribery and using his influence to accept bribes. The court sentenced He Zihua to death with a 2-year reprieve, deprived him of political rights for life, and confiscated all his personal property. In addition to corrupt officials who directly engage in bribery in China, there are also individuals who silently support, condone, or even help them cover up their crimes. These individuals may be the family members, relatives, lovers, or close friends of the corrupt officials. Their choice to remain silent is often driven by dependency on the corrupt official, personal interests, or concerns for their own future and safety. However, it is precisely the complicity of these individuals through their silence that provides a shield for the corrupt officials, allowing them to engage in corruption with impunity. Nevertheless, sometimes, a casual remark from a family member or loved one can puncture this shield and expose the ugly truth of the corrupt official, becoming a crucial aspect of the anti-corruption struggle. For instance, earlier this year, a farcical incident dubbed the Bentley vs. Rolls-Royce battle at Shenzhen Baoning Mansion sparked widespread attention on the internet. What initially started as a dispute over parking spaces among neighbors escalated into a nationally watched event due to the boast of 50 Bentleys, and the background of a state-owned enterprise secretary. Initially, it was circulated online that a car owner at Shenzhen Baoning Mansion, mockingly referred to as Bentley Lady, was infuriated because her parking spot had been occupied by a Rolls-Royce for over a month. In the parking garage, she loudly berated and called for someone to block the luxury car, even claiming to have 50 Bentleys at her disposal. This grandiose statement immediately caught the attention of netizens. As the incident unfolded, the actions and words of Bentley Lady became even more attention-grabbing. Not only did she demand another Bentley from home to reinforce her stance, but she also threatened to summon the media and the mayor. However, the most shocking scene emerged when, amidst the altercation with the Rolls-Royce owner, both parties resorted to feigning injury, leaving netizens astounded. Two billionaires engaging in such a brawl was unprecedented. Shortly after, Bentley Lady revealed a bombshell: her husband was a state-owned enterprise secretary. This revelation propelled the event to its climax. People began to question how a state-owned enterprise secretary could amass such immense wealth. Could there be corruption involved? However, after thorough investigation, the truth finally came to light. It turned out that the state-owned enterprise secretary, husband mentioned by Bentley Lady, was not her husband but her boyfriend, and the two had no financial ties or business dealings. Furthermore, the car occupying the parking spot was not a Rolls-Royce but a Land Rover, and the owner was not a state-owned enterprise executive but the head of a private enterprise. Additionally, the true identity of Bentley Lady was also unveiled. She was a woman named Zhang from Shenzhen. Her Bentley was not a borrowed prop for ostentation but her own property. As for Bentley Lady's special status and whether she indeed owned 50 Bentleys, as well as the legality of her wealth, relevant authorities are currently investigating. This 50 Bentleys incident, to some extent, also reflects a prevalent phenomenon in Chinese society: corruption among officials. Although in the final investigation of the incident, Bentley Lady claimed that her husband was not her husband, this lie triggered societal reflection on the relationship between power and wealth. In China, the existence of corrupt officials is nothing new. They seek personal gain through abuse of power, bribery, and even by fabricating means, resulting in unfair resource allocation and social injustice. The sources of their wealth are often opaque and involve a wide range of fields, making it difficult to uncover each one. However, it is precisely because of the existence of these corrupt officials that the calls for transparency and fairness in political systems have become louder. People hope for a more transparent and just political system that can effectively curb the spread of corruption. Strict laws and regulations, along with effective oversight mechanisms, are key to restraining the behavior of corrupt officials. So many Chinese corrupt officials have embezzled a lot of money. Do you know how they hide their money? In China's Hainan province, a cunning and sly female corrupt official has been exposed for her ingenuity in concealing bribes totaling over 64 million yuan. This woman, named Sun Ying, formerly served as the director of the Hainan Provincial Market Supervision Administration, and prior to being investigated, she was also the director of the Hainan Provincial Tourism Commission. It is reported that she melted down gold worth 6,666,000 yuan and hid it piece by piece inside a treadmill at her home. This plot is astonishing, causing one to marvel at the extent of her greed. Another corrupt official, named Chao Yu, hid illicit funds in the underground garage of his residence. Investigating officers found 6 large suitcases inside a commercial vehicle, containing up to 10,009,000 yuan. Before being investigated, Chao Yu held various positions such as Deputy Director of the Hainan Provincial Bureau of Geology, Secretary of the Party Committee of Hainan University, and Dean of the Hainan Tropical Ocean College. Despite their low positions and limited power, these corrupt officials without exception displayed astonishing greed. They disregarded the hardships of the people, insatiably pursued wealth, and their obsession with money is evident. For instance, Deng Xiaojiang, former director of the Hainan Provincial Department of Ecology and Environment, was involved in a case involving a staggering 51,890,000 yuan. After these corrupt officials are brought down, they often pretend to repent, uttering words of party loyalty and self-discipline, yet secretly scheming to evade legal sanctions. Their public displays of party loyalty are accompanied by hidden desires for greed, and their every word and action is filled with hypocrisy. Despite being well aware of the potential legal consequences of their actions, many corrupt officials in China still choose to engage in bribery and embezzlement. This complex behavior is influenced by a variety of psychological and societal factors that are not widely understood. Firstly, there may be an inherent human tendency to challenge rules and regulations. Without the constraints of law, society could descend into chaos, allowing various dark aspects of human nature to emerge unchecked. As a result, individuals sometimes seek to transgress boundaries of rules, ethics, and morality to satisfy their desires, with corrupt officials serving as prime examples of such behavior. A thorough investigation and data analysis conducted by Chinese regulatory bodies on 1,000 corrupt officials revealed the motivations behind their corrupt practices. Firstly, the pursuit of excitement is a significant factor. Humans often seek out experiences beyond their control, and achieving success in illegal activities can provide a profound sense of achievement. Consequently, disregarding and secretly violating the law become means for them to achieve psychological gratification. They relish the thrill of, "I'm breaking the law, but you can't catch me," which further drives them deeper into corruption. Secondly, a sense of luck plays a role. Despite widespread corruption in China, only a small fraction of individuals ultimately face legal repercussions. This high-risk, high-reward dynamic, coupled with relatively low chances of getting caught, encourages some officials to delve further into corruption driven by their greed. Additionally, the notion of being coerced into corrupt practices is commonly used as an excuse. When superiors demand the execution of potentially unlawful tasks, many officials choose to compromise to safeguard their positions. Simultaneously, faced with significant material temptations, their inherent greed compels them to find various justifications for their actions. Furthermore, many corrupt officials hail from humble backgrounds and aspire to change their fortunes through power accumulation and wealth accumulation. However, the ill-gotten gains become a source of distress for them, as they dare not spend or use the money. Instead, they can only watch as the digits in their bank accounts grow, leading to increasing agony in their lives until their crimes are exposed. What do you think? Feel free to leave a comment below and join the discussion. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. We will continue to provide you with honest reporting. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.